Good evening. Welcome to day 10 of the Pharaohs Rally, the Round Egypt Rally here on Eurosport. The live action today coming from the Libyan desert to the west of the Nile Valley. 29 cars and 22 bikes starting this morning from Samalut, just near to El Minya, traveling 340 kilometers, racing all the way to El Fayoum, the big freshwater lake close to Cairo. Just one more day to go after today. And the news today, as this morning started, was Al-Hajri of Qatar was leading the rally from Timo Salonen of France in the Citroen, and Jean-Louis Schlesser, also France, in his Schlesser buggy in third place. There's the route today in the center of the screen. And we immediately pick up the action from the Eurosport helicopter. Here is the man himself, Saeed Al-Hajri, leader of the rally, here in these massive Libyan dunes. The stage is known as the stage of the shifting dunes, and Al-Hajri, like many people today, looking not to get stuck. A lot of cars at the moment in trouble. There is Jean-Louis Schlesser, his buggy well and truly stuck over the top of a sand dune, and his friend Saeed Al-Hajri, secure in the knowledge he has a 3-hour and 20-minute lead in the rally, stops to help him and pull him out. Also stuck there, two of the Citroens, Lartigue and Salonen, both stopped, as Jérôme Rivière and his number 212 Porsche engine buggy tries to find a way around the dunes without getting stuck himself. Massive shifting sand dunes here in the Libyan desert. One of the most spectacular parts of the rally. Day 10 of the rally, we've seen everything from rocks, mountains, sand dunes, fesh. But this really is one of the toughest of the lot. Jérôme Rivière pausing, seeing which is the best route through. Porsche engine, buggy. Rivière a long way down the order, but putting in some very good stage performances. He finished 5th yesterday on the stage. Into a deep gully, and he is stuck too. So a lot of today's runners in big problems in this very treacherous deep sand and these hidden ridges all the way through the stages. And just look at the wheel tracks there, people taking all different routes. There is Pierre Lartigue and Timo Salonen, respectively 4th and 2nd in the rally this morning, as our helicopter follows on and finds Jean-Louis Schlesser and Saeed Al-Hajri running together. Al-Hajri having pulled Schlesser out of that sand trap onto harder sand now, but again you can see from the crisscross trails that people are looking desperately for ways. No roadbook here in the desert, just using GPS navigation system. Jean-Louis Schlesser, 1990 and 91 World Sports Car Champion for Mercedes, now one of the old hands in desert raiding. He's been racing buggies since 1989, and last year he won the Pharaohs Rally driving single-handedly. Saeed Al-Hajri still leading the rally, comes to the first water splash since the first day of the rally, way back in El Alamein. This is the Magic Cascade, one of the features of the Pharaohs Rally over the past years. This is where water from Lake Fayoum goes down into the smaller Lake Rayon, and we're very close now to the end of the stage. He has only 3 kilometers more to go, and he's home and dry with just one more day left from Rayawun's overnight bivouac into Cairo. Al-Hajri accompanied by Henry Magna in the Rothmans Mitsubishi Pajero, 320 horsepower, permanent 4-wheel drive. We're going to take a very short break. Stay with Eurosport. We'll see you in a moment. This is Mark Cole. We're looking at Saeed Al-Hajri chasing through the Libyan desert here, coming around the edge of the green vegetation that surrounds Lake Fayoum. He is very close now to the finish of today's stage, and after this the rally leader has only one more stage to go before finishing at the pyramids tomorrow, Wednesday night. Al-Hajri very cautious over the last 3 days. We've had a lot of problems for front runners. Bruno Sabi out on day 4 with engine failure. Hubert Royal out day 6 when leading, when he's stuck. Alan Ambrosino second on day 8, crashed. So he has told everybody he is driving cautiously and carefully. Just 2 kilometers to go now, over one of the ridges, and Al-Hajri somersaults the Rothmans Mitsubishi Pajero. The car finishes on its roof. A very slow speed accident, about 10 kilometers an hour. Henry Mang on the passenger side opens the door, taking a long time to do it. They had to undo their belts. Assistance comes immediately. Everything a bit upside down in this vehicle inside, as you can imagine. Henry Mang is out. But disaster for Said Al-Hajri, because when he unclipped his belts, he falls onto his head and hurts his neck. So Al-Hajri in obviously a lot of pain at the moment, crawling out, just lying on his back there to see if the pain will go away. Absolute disaster for the Desert Prince. We see it again in slow motion, taking it very, very easily. He's done this type of jump 100 times on this rally. And again here on the penultimate day, he comes over a ridge, but the front of the car digs in, and over it goes. Very little damage to the vehicle itself, all the impact taken in that rocking motion. Even the wing isn't broken on the back. But the problem comes afterwards when Al-Hajri drops onto his head, complaining of back and neck pains. There's a Citroen doctor very quickly on the scene, comes over to help him. This is Terry Viador, the resident doctor with Citroen. Help coming now from all angles. Jean-Louis Schlesser has stopped amongst others. Bruno Musmara coming to help as well, and Henry Mang anxiously organising medical assistance for his co-driver. There is Henry Mang. Schlesser and others helping. The Medivac helicopter arrives. Al-Hajri is lifted very, very carefully onto that stretcher just to make sure there's nothing worse. The doctors give him a checking over, and it would seem he may have trapped the spinal cord when he fell onto his head. He's taken off to the helicopter of the organisers to go straight to the Pyramids Hospital in Cairo. And the rally lead changes yet again. Ironically, this on the penultimate day. 204 Rothmans Mitsubishi virtually undamaged. Henry Mang tells us that we were taking things very easily, and we made a jump of the type we've been making all the time throughout the rally. Nothing exceptional about it. Came over the dune, and the front just buried itself in the sand, and over we went. Even then he said there was not really a problem. We thought, oh well, we've just turned over, we can easily put it back. A lot of cars have rolled on this rally and continued. But when Said released his belt, he hurt himself, and our rally is over. Well, that is a disaster, because that is both the factory Rothmans Mitsubishis out of the rally in the prototype section. Jean-Pierre Fontenay still leading T2. As we see now, the new leader of the rally, Timo Salonen, in the 206 Citroen, the 330 horsepower four-wheel drive Citroen ZX Rally Raid. Salonen takes the lead on day 10 of the 11-day Around Egypt event. Salonen passing Jérôme Rivière, still stuck in the sand there. Again, trying to find their way through this very tricky sand and part fesh. Being warned, he almost landed on top of Rivière there, but he's made it a wonderful piece of driving by Salonen. He was lucky, he missed Riviere there, stuck. Stops just briefly to see if there's anything he can do to help. Great deal of camaraderie on these last days. And again, these people are being warned to stay clear. That is Pierre Lartigue. Lartigue now moving into third place behind Jean-Louis Schlesser. These dunes, very dangerous, especially where cars are hidden in the dips. Lartigue and Salonen joining up to confer about which way they should go. Very easy to get lost here. You have your compass navigation, but quite obviously with these great sand dune cliffs and dips and quicksand traps, it's no good blindly following the compass. You have to pick your way through and get back onto the route as soon as you can in the right direction. Just look at this. This is the sort of terrain they're having to cope with today. They have to go over that lot and then eventually work their way out of the dunes into the water splash by the Magic Cascade. Salonen comes through the water, so Timo Salonen, 42 years old, from Finland, 1985 World Rally Champion for Peugeot, now leading the Pharaohs Rally here, the 12th Pharaohs Rally, and its 5th round of the FIA Cross Country World Cup. Been 4 events before, and 1 to go after this, the home event of Said Al-Hajri in the United Arab Emirates. Salonen and also Pierre Lartigue. Lartigue there coming through the water. Be careful not to drown these engines in the only water they're expected to go through in 11 days of racing around Egypt.
This has been very long rally and
Salonen.
Some drivers unlucky, some drivers lucky. I think so I was lucky today.
But a strange way to be the leader, don't you think so?
Yes, I mean, of course, I prefer to be first by driving, but that kind of rallies are a little bit different, like World Championship rallies. Mm-hmm. And it's, I mean, you know, I think so that was driver mistake anyway, what happened today.
What do you think of that? Is it really a mistake?
I think so. It's very difficult to also here to change your speed. Like, you know, if you start to drive carefully, more slowly, you start to think something else, not completely driving, and I think so that kind of thing can happen. You know, you are not so concentrated for driving. And one place you go just a little bit too fast. That's it.
What will be your tactic now? Be cool till the arrival?
Yeah, but I don't like to go too slow because that's the same problem maybe to me. I must keep going, nice speed, not flat out, but not too slow.
So Said Al-Hajri, after 4,500 kilometers out of the rally, just 217 to go. Salonen, Schlesser and Lartigue in the top. Jean-Pierre Fontenay still leading T2 category there in 4th place, and incredibly in 6th place, Salvador Servia in the Mitsubishi leading T1. We're going to take a short break. Please stay with us on Eurosport. Well, welcome back to the Pharaohs Rally here in Egypt. This is Eurosport, and this is today's coverage of day 10, 11th stage of the shifting dunes. Picking up, as always, our front runners. This is Franco Pico, and Pico winning today's stage. Although Arcarons and Orioli on their Kajivas still way ahead of him in the rally, finishing tonight 2 hours 12 minutes ahead of this man, the Milan dentist, on his KTM 600. 600cc not enough to compete against the Cagiva 750s ahead of him, Jordi Arcarons of Spain and Eddie Orioli of Italy. And again, like the cars, the bikers finding this route very difficult indeed. The old railway track of Nag Hammadi there, they're going alongside. There's a railway track laid by the British in the First World War. It was offered to Egypt after that war, but the Egyptians didn't want it, so the Britons took the railway track up and took it home piece by piece. This is Eddie Orioli on the Albatross Cagiva, giving a thumbs up to the Eurosport helicopter. Orioli second on the stage today. behind Franco Pico, and again following the old railway line as they head right out into the Libyan desert from the overnight bivouac at El Minya on the Nile. Number 3 there, following them too, is the rally leader Jordi Arcarons, and there with a flare, one of the rally organisers showing the way to Arcarons. Arcarons getting stuck, Orioli behind him getting stuck as well. This is the same area in which we saw all those cars getting jammed. Orioli finds a way out. Comes to control, but Arcarons there, well and truly stuck with that heavy Cagiva. Franco Pico coming through the dunes. Pico well used to the Pharaohs Rally. He won it in '86 on the Yamaha. He was second in '88. He's done many Paris-Dakars, and here he is in 3rd place, winning today's stage, but unable to make any impression at all on the leaders with just one more day to go. Jutta Kleinschmidt, first lady of German biking, there she is. Passing a dune, a lot of people going in circles, trying to find their way out. Kleinschmidt on board her KTM 4600. As we follow a line of bikers who are all following each other, just 22 bikers left in the rally when they started this morning. Very difficult going this. Everyone finding these deep sand holes. This is Massimo Marmaroli of Italy on his Gilera. Marco Montebelli of Italy on his Yamaha. Gianfranco Maletti, also of Italy. The Italians were péchant for finding this deep sand today. He on his Kawasaki, the only Kawasaki in the rally. Finding some hard rock for the moment before he sets off back into the deep sand. And as we're looking at all these bikers here in the Libyan desert of Egypt, in these hot October conditions, staying on or falling off. A quick look at San Remo today for the World Championship Rally Day 2 in Italy. And the news there tonight is that Franco Quinico of Italy is leading in his Ford Escort from Carlos Sainz in the Lancia, and Patrick Sniers of Belgium 3rd in his Escort. And amazingly in 5th place, Bruno Thierry in the Formula 2 Opel Astra, the little 2-wheel drive 2-litre Astra. We lost Fiorio today, Alessandro Fiorio of Lancia, as we return to the Pharaohs Rally here to watch 1st and 2nd in the rally, and 3rd behind them Franco Pico. So Arcarons, Orioli and Pico riding 1, 2, 3 through the Magic Cascade. A local kindly pointing out which way not to go. Obviously gave him a Lucky Strike t-shirt to make sure he kept him out of the potholes there. Franco Pico comes through. Absolutely humiliating to drown your engine at this stage of the rally. We've just 2 kilometers left to tonight's bivouac and 1 more day to go after this. When they reach the bivouac tonight at Lake Rawayan, small freshwater lake, which this waterfall is feeding, there will be champagne and fireworks laid on for everybody. Their last night under canvas after 10 days of hard riding since they left Alexandria Sunday of last week. Jutta Kleinschmidt comes through, no problems for her, and just those final dunes to go through. Westside Al-Hajri came to grief an hour earlier. Arcarons and Orioli riding together, coming up to that treacherous ridge. Passing the end of the El Fayoum Lake. Up to that ridge, being slowed down by onlookers. No problems, over they go. Pico the same, he looks over, and that's the spot where we saw the Mitsubishi somersault. And And now just 2 kilometers into the end of today's 340 kilometer stage. Well, that's the end of our coverage of today. One more day to go. Acheron, Zorioli, Pico, Kleinschmidt and Marmarelli in 5th. This has been Mark Cole. This has been Eurosport. We look forward to seeing you for the final day tomorrow.